What's up, fight fans? It's Hey Jai from Home of Picks here. I'm on Legends every week. If you think you know MMA, prove it. Make your picks and get a 100% match on your first purchase up to $100. That's double your money. Or you could play for free. Hit the link in the description to get started.
James Lynch here for Home of Fight. Happy to be joined by one of the men who will be in the main event of UFC Fight Night November 1st. He'll be taking on David Onama. Always great catching up with Steve Garcia here on the program. Steve, how's it going, man?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on the show, James. Appreciate it, and always a pleasure to be on.
Well, I appreciate you making time, and what a big opportunity this is, getting the main event. Just let's start there first. First main event for you. How excited were you to get this opportunity?
Yeah, man. It's I was super excited. I was very adamant about either getting on the Madison Square Garden card or the an Apex main event or something like that. I felt like I needed something a little bit bigger. I feel like I hadn't been getting as much of a push for as much as I feel like I've been doing. So I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit of the credit, not exactly what I want per se, but I think that's also comes with the fact that I'm never satisfied. But I'm excited, man. I'm super happy that I have this opportunity, and I'm going to take advantage of it.
Was this something you were expecting, getting a main event slot like this? Like when you got the offer, was it like, oh, this is cool. Let's go.
I was super excited, but to be honest, I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought they would throw me on the Madison Square Garden card just because they were kind of hinting at me with Onama, like, would you be willing to? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, okay, then they threw Pitbull at me, and I was like, yeah, but I'm not gonna fight him in 3 because it was that whole fall through with
Kieta, who missed weight. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not gonna fight him in like 2 or 3 weeks right now. I was like, I'm not really in that type of position to do that, and plus, I'm not gonna go to Brazil and do that. I was like, I'll fight him in November. That's what I told him. And so we thought we were gonna fight Pitbull, and then I got the call and like, hey man, you want to fight Onama in main event Apex November 1st? Sign me up. You know what I mean? So okay. It's funny how UFC operates in that manner, but I just take what they give me, and we got Onama November 1st.
Were you happy to get Onama as an opponent? I know you might have wanted an opponent maybe ranked higher, but you just look at the style matchup. You look at the fact that I don't think Onama's ever been in a boring fight. Like that's got to get you excited as well, that you'll be in there with someone that's willing to make this potential fight of the night.
Yeah, I think that he's also kind of like along the lines, as far as on my wavelength when it comes to being underrated a little bit. Onama's very tough, man. Like I wanted someone a little bit more in the rankings. I feel like that would make a little bit more sense for me. Zola beating Cater, he gets 9. I beat Cater, I get 12. You know what I mean? It just didn't make, like the math didn't make sense for me. Mm-hmm. And then he gets Emmett. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, bro, like I was saying, like if I have to go, like I looked at Max Holloway's career, and that dude, he went through the whole division getting to the top. And if I have to go that route, then I'll go that route. If it's 1 by 1, I'll take out 1 by 1. And I think that November 1st, is definitely going to be a very exciting one to watch. The fans are going to get something special.
You mentioned Pitbull. Was that the only other opponent that was kind of in the mix here as far as opponents that you were aware of? Was it just Pitbull and Onama? That was it?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to see who was available. I knew obviously Pitbull wasn't available for a long time. I've been calling him out for a good minute, and then all of a sudden he became available. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna fight him on his time. You know what I mean? One, you just got here, bro. Like, I'm not gonna fight you. Fight on my time. You know what I mean? Like I've been here. I've been hacking away. It's from the bottom. You know what I mean? So, I know he's just trying to get fights after fights. I think he's just trying to get fights closer to the title just to get there. But at the end of the day, I'm like, dude, you were right there. You were like, you fought number 2 or 3, bro. Like you were right there. You had the opportunity. You didn't, perform, and it happens to the best of us. But at the end of the day, man, now you're just kind of in line like the rest of us, So we have Onama, man, and he's just his game. I respect his coach a lot. He's a very smart, intelligent person, and they're gonna give me some issues on November 1st, but I believe I'll be ready for it.
Take me through camp a bit. Anything different? Obviously, training at one of the best in the world over there at Jackson Wink. Who's helping you get ready for this fight?
Yeah, man, we got some good people in the gym right now. Obviously, we're pushing for 5 rounds hard. I've always done that, but it's kind of cool because I've always told my family and I've always told my coaches, I was like, I want to prepare for a 5 round fight because that's what I want to be. I want to be, a main event, a headliner. I want to make sure that, I'm ready for a title when it comes. I want to be ready for those type of opportunities. Now we got one. So I'm happy about that. That's kind of, been a little different with camp. As far as training, obviously the usual people that I have Diego Brandao, who's been on a tear, and hopefully I can get him back in the UFC. I think that'd be great. I think he's earned that spot. So he's been a big, part of my camp. Manolo Zavici or Ziccini, I think his name is.
Mhm.
He's a good friend and he's a good teammate of mine. He's also trying to get back into the swing of things. He's waiting for a phone call too. So, another UFC fighter that I have at my gym that I get to train with, and then we have some guys, man. We have some really tough guys that most people don't know quite yet. I got a buddy Pablo, another one. You might know Chris Brown,
Of
Breezy.
course, Breezy. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a good training partner of mine. Obviously, like Holly likes to hop in there every once in a while and give me a southpaw look and stuff. I have a great team around me and I'm happy about it. I got Greg and Wink, the best coaches in the world, and we've been doing good things. So we're just gonna just continue.
Yeah, you sort of touched on it there too. The fact that this is 5 rounds, that's something new for you. And you sort of always have trained that way. Like, has there been much of a difference training for the 5 rounds?
Not really. Like I've one MMA 5 round fight before, and we did good. We actually went all five.
Mhm.
So we've been there before. So um it's just part of the training camp. Make sure you're ready.
Yeah. No, I mean, judging by your fights though, they don't usually go 5 rounds anyway. So it's just you got to prep for anything, right? Just in case. And then your corner, I imagine Coach Wink, Greg Jackson. Like who's going to be in the cage with you for this fight?
It'll be pretty much the same people. I think I get four this time, so it'll probably be Greg, Wink, my dad, and then Diego Brandao.
Love it. Okay, that's great. And again, you don't get paid by the hour, man. I know you like going in and making it a short night. How's this one playing out on November 1st?
I think it's kind of hard to see it going 5 rounds. I do. It's tough. I'm not saying it's impossible, but our two styles colliding is definitely going to be yeah, it's going to be fireworks for sure. So someone's got to fall. I just got to make sure it's not me. So you're going to probably see a finish, a TKO finish. We don't really. I mean, he goes for some submissions and stuff like that, and if it's screaming at me, I'll go for it. But I'm coming for your head.
Well, how much too does the smaller cage play to your favor? You've got a lot of power. I know Onama's got some knockout power too, but it really seems like the Apex is such a good venue for your type of style.
Yeah, man, it definitely plays in my favor. I mean, we've had so many fights there. I think we're undefeated there too, so I'm happy about that. It definitely weighs. It makes a difference. He's not going to be able to get away from me. I think he'll meet me in the middle a few times. You know what I mean? We're going to get some exchanges off. Damage will be done, but I think it's going to definitely weigh in my favor. And I know he's fought in the Apex and stuff like that, so I know he knows how to navigate that type of situation. But yeah, it's going to be fireworks, bro. I mean, you put two killers in a cage that small, it's bound to get bloody. It's bound to be a war. So that's what I'm preparing for.
We talked about it off the top. What an opportunity this is. Main event. All the focus is going to be on you and Onama in this one. A win, especially another finish. Where does that put you, man? I know you said you'll fight everyone sort of on the way up, even if you have to, but that's got to really propel you just because there will be a lot of eyeballs on this fight.
Yeah, it'll propel me back to where I was at 11, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it, but I think too the attention and just you never know with timing, right? Like it's an interesting division right now. We're still waiting to hear what's going on with Volkanovski, who he's going to be fighting next. There's been a lot of movement in your weight class, but do you not think that again you get this finish here, you're going to get some good opponent after this if all goes well?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. This is just from the outside looking in, and this is on my division. Nobody wants to fight each other. Especially in the top 5, top 6, they just want to fight for the title. All of them just are like that crab effect. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's like, it's going to be me. It's going to be me. You know what I mean? So I kind of have a different tactic. You know what I mean? I got to make sure this fight goes the way I planned to, and you'll hear something for sure. I'm gonna have to go a different route, but um, yeah, you're just gonna have to tune in to watch and see what happens. But yeah, man, I definitely someone further that gets me closer to the title. That's kind of what I want, but it hasn't been happening that way. And then finding someone who's behind me to excel me forward is definitely a little bit more of a what do they call it, ass backwards or back ass for, I don't know, one of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
type of
yeah.
situations. um but you know what, man, like my day, at the end of the day, I gotta feed my family. I gotta make sure I provide for them, and all I can promise you is that I'll fight with everything I got.
Where do you stand on that in the division? Do you think it should be Movsar, or do you believe that Lerone Murphy deserves that shot after getting that finish on Aaron Pico?
In my personal opinion, you gotta just give it to Masvar, dude. Like, you can avoid all you want.
Mhm.
um is it good for business? Probably not. But if you're trying to do right by everybody in the division, that unfortunately that's him included, I think you should just give it to him. You know what I mean? uh I feel like if we have the Volk that we know, he should be able to take him out anyways. You know what I mean? The only person that I see that's a gangster that will fight anybody, to be honest, and I have a lot of respect for him, is Diego Lopes. He's the only guy that's willing to step up and fight anybody. But he's already had that one shot with Volk. He made it a close fight. He did lose the fight. Um, yeah, I definitely want to see Lerone Murphy before Aljo. Aljo, I'm like, dude, you just, who did you just beat? You just beat
Brian Ortega, yeah.
Brian Ortega, and Ortega just, I don't know what's going on with that guy. You know what I mean? So you look at Lerone. Lerone fought Pico. You know what I mean? So I think that if any, and the way he beat him was definitely, made it just makes him a little bit more sense the way he won, right? So I think that I'd probably look at Lerone before I would look at Masvar, in a sense of it being a business deal. But as far as probably who's earned it the most, I'd probably say Masvar. But he's also pulled out. He's also not like exciting to watch. I understand that there's no entertainment value to it. He doesn't knock people out. I don't even know if he subs people.
He
I don't
hasn't had
know.
a single finish in the UFC, which I think is working against him, unfortunately.
Exactly. And that's where I think the UFC is just like pumping the brakes. You know what I mean? So if it was me, and like, you know, if I was, I mean, I know it makes no sense to even, give my opinion on this, but have Masvidal fight Lerone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have him fight him. You know what I mean? And winner takes, gets the shot.
Yeah.
Like everybody's just like on standby right now. Everybody's on standby, and everybody's like, I want the next shot. And I'm like, bro, like, you really don't know.
Mhm.
And Volk's not really making. He's like, I'll just fight anybody, but you know what I mean. I'm just like, I get it. You're the one with the tiger on your back, so just I wait. But I think Masvar, if Masvar's not gonna fight anybody, he should get it next. If there has to be a like a number one contender fight, throw Lerone and Masvar in there, and then let them figure it out.
Couple
Because
things.
honestly, Lerone puts things together pretty well.
Yeah, no, and again, that was like, picture perfect as far as him getting that finish over Aaron Pico. Speaking of which, did that surprise you that Lerone was able to finish him? Pico looked good sort of leading up to the stoppage, but obviously Lerone got him pretty good with that elbow.
I was pretty surprised. I had Aaron going in there and just running through Lerone. I actually kind of saw Lerone look actually panicked. He looked panicked at the beginning. But the thing is that you're fighting the best guys in the world now. It's a little bit different. Like, I'm not trying to hate on Bellator. I competed there, but coming over to the UFC, working from the bottom up, it's a different level here, man.
Mhm.
The lights are different. The atmosphere is different. The importance of each fight is way different. The way that you have to come off and portray yourself and sell fights and stuff like that's way different. I'm not the best at some of that stuff, but what I am good at is how I can entertain you in the cage.
Mhm.
Knocking people out. I think everybody loves seeing that, right? So I have that going for me. So and with Cater, bro, like that one hurt me a little bit because I almost had him in the third.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. I kind of got a taste of the vet. You know what I mean? At a high level, I fought some vets, at a lower level, but fighting the vets at the high level, they just know how to stay in the fight. So, um, hats off to him. But I'm kind of glad I got that taste. And it's funny because I got a lot of backhanded like compliments, like, "Oh wow, Steve actually does know how to fight," or "Steve just doesn't look crazy all the time," or
Mhm.
Now he might have a shot. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, thanks, y'all are great.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's never from the ones that I really care about. It's always from the outside noise. But unfortunately, I need their opinions. I need their approval because those follows and all that stuff matter. So I'm just going out there, fighting my ass off, winning as spectacular as possible, and it's been doing well for me, and I'm just gonna keep doing that.
And another fighter you mentioned, Diego Lopes. What did you make of his win over John Silva? Where I think going in, Lopes was an underdog, which was a bit surprising, but just the fact that like it really showed the separation between the two in the division, right? Like you had Lopes, who really showed that he's a contender. John Silva, a lot of hype and stuff, but maybe not at that level yet.
Yeah, I think Jim will beat there. I'd say give him a year. But yeah, no, Diego, he's well rounded, and he has this like this extra grit in him. You know what I mean? So honestly, what I would like to see is him and Yair go at it.
Yeah.
I think that's a fun one. Him and Yair should go at it. Masvar Lerone should go at it, and then you guys figure out of those two fights who should get it.
You against Aljamain Sterling then. If you could do that.
I was open to it. I
Yeah.
even told my management, I was like, if Aldo's open, I'll take him too. You know what I mean? Like stylistically, it doesn't seem as fun, but he's a former champion. You know what I mean? So if I have to go through him, I'll go through him too. But I got Lerone on my hands, and that's
For sure.
that's
Just focusing in general. I'm the one who's asking about the implications
Yeah.
stuff. There'll always be like one person on the video being like, he's looking past his opponent. It's like, I'm the one asking it. Like, it's not you who's bringing up like another fighter. So just wanted to be clear about that. Before we go, I know we've already gone over time. Did you get to go fishing this summer? Because I know that's something we always talk about. You told me in I think it was a couple interviews ago, that place you like to go fishing, they got rid of it. So did you not get to go this year, or did you get to go one last time?
Yeah, so we went again this year. Right now they're like hesitant. They don't want to get rid of it. So right now it's still there. So it's nice because we went down there. I actually had my dad come with me, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, he loved it too because sometimes he just take a chair and he would just walk out to the backyard and to the dock and throw it in his line, man. And it was something. He's like, dude, he's like, I haven't slept this good in a long time. I haven't felt this much peace in a long time. And so it was a good moment. I'm glad he got to experience it because it's a special place. And so I was able to do it. My son caught some fish. He was so pumped. Yeah, man, it was a great time. And we went, they have a really nice golf course out there.
That was gonna be my next question. You're still getting in some golfing, I assume, right?
Yeah, there's a really nice golf course in there. Kind of pricey, but it was what was it? It was for his birthday. I told him I'll take him. It's just Coeur d'Alene. I think it's a Coeur d'Alene resort. It's the only golf course that has a floating dock or a floating par three. I'm sorry.
Oh,
And
really?
you got to take a little, yeah, you got to take a little like ferry or a little cherry.
No way. Okay,
boat
cool.
to the green. So, I posted on my story, and I don't even know if it's on my grid, but yeah, it's there, and it was so cool, man. I honestly, bro, I was like, 4 or 5 feet from the hole too, man. So I was happy that it showed out. I partied. I should have birdied it, but I partied. So it worked out.
Yeah, you should play Onama's teammate, Dustin Jacoby. He's supposed to be one of the best. He actually played in that Barstool tournament they had for golf. I know there's a couple fighters that are pretty solid at golf, but from what I hear, you're pretty good too. So
Yeah, I'm not bad. I mean, here in Albuquerque, I'll shoot like mid 80s, mid
that's
to high
good. I mean, that's
80s.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, the two people I'm still waiting for is DC and Gaethje.
Gaethje, yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, I talked to Gaethje when he comes back. I told him, I was like, dude, I was like, come back, bro. We'll play some golf. He's like, bro, he says because he came for the APFC card,
Mhm.
and we linked up and we're talking and stuff. I was like, dude, next time you come, bring your clubs, and I was like, we'll hit some of these golf courses. Yeah, absolutely. I want to play some of these. I was like, hell yeah, let's freaking do it. So when they come back out, hopefully we can make that happen.
They
But
got to do a
I don't
tournament
know.
with UFC fighters just to see who the best is, because that's one where it doesn't matter the weight class. Like it's golf, right? So it's not measured in weight, right? So
Not necessarily, but you look at Bryson DeChambeau, man, and that dude he hits a lot further than some of the other pros, but yeah, man, it's more or less, equal across the board.
Yeah, fair enough.
I even talked to DC. DC's like, "Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm almost there." I'm like low 90s. I'm like, bro, I see how you play.
Yeah.
I was like, you're a below ball kicker into the fairway. I see you.
Yeah.
But no, it's always all love. It's all fun.
Hitting golf balls and punching people in the face. Steve, always appreciate the time, my friend. It's a UFC Fight Night, November 1st. Anyone you want to thank before we get out of here? Any sponsors, any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, man. Always give it up to God, man. He's put me in these positions. I've been praying for these moments since I was a kid, since I was 15 years old. And sometimes they don't come in, they don't come to fruition 17, 18 years later. But you know what? You just gotta have faith, keep going. So always give him thanks. And then my family's always been right behind me every step of the way, pushing me forward. So thank you for doing that. I've been rocking with Mentality. Mentality has been a great sponsor for me. Hydro Bar, Brad, my S's chiropractic care, my gym, JW, everybody there. I mean, there's a lot of people there. Restore, who's helping me with my recovery. So yeah, man, so many different people. Blessed to have everybody around.